to make the feeding process more efficient.
But I thought you already said they had a number of genetic characteristics similar to humans.
They do, but they're still much closer to the bug creature that attacked Major Shepherd than to us.
Hey, we weren't going to mention that anymore.
Sorry.
Also interesting is the fact that the Wraith language appears to be a derivative of Ancient, which seems to suggest that the Wraith evolved after the Ancients arrived in Pegasus.
My theory is that the Ancients unwittingly allowed humans to evolve on a planet with insect species on it. At some point, the insects fed on humans and somehow incorporated our DNA into theirs. The Wraith are an evolution of that combination.
So what you're saying is the Ancients actually created the Wraith?
By accident.
Or negligence.
No, either way, it doesn't matter.
Ultimately, the more we know about Wraith physiology, the closer we get to a biological weapon that can attack the Wraith and leave humans unharmed.
Yes, but for the moment, all we know is that the Ancients might have accidentally created the Wraith, and why Taylor can sense them coming. I mean, fabulous mysteries solved, but neither of which that help in any way stop them from coming.
Freddy's right. Let's get back to work.
Thank you.
I know that it is not my fault. There's nothing I can do about it. The fact is, I'm really no different now than I was yesterday or last week.
But you feel different?
Yes. I think the thing that I am most worried about is how people will perceive me. My father told people that it was a gift. I was special, but in a good way. I could help my people by warning them of the Wraith's approach. He did it to protect me, but in many ways I think that it is why they first turned to me as a leader.
As you just said, you're no different than you were yesterday.
Yes, but now they have reason to fear me.
All right, even with Major Shepherd in the chair, we weren't able to, What? What is that?
Yeah, it was something you said made me wonder.
I thought we decided there were more important things.
Why did the Wraith scientists stop the experiments?
What would I have said that would make you think that?
I don't remember.
No, it's a good point. I'm just wondering what I said. Sure. What do you got?
Well, at first, I thought it's because the other Wraith caught him.
They didn't.
No, according to this, he stopped in the zone.
See, now you've got me wondering why the rest of the Wraith didn't want these experiments taking place in the first place.
Exactly.
Especially since they were supposed to be intended to improve things for everyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just said it.
Will you stop?
Okay, here's the most interesting part. The Wraith communicate with each other using some sort of telepathic network.
I noticed that.
Now, thankfully, they can't seem to read the minds of humans, though.
That's good, but what does this have to do with the Wraith stopping the experiments?
Because by combining even small amounts of Wraith DNA with humans, the scientist was giving the humans Wraith mental abilities. The subjects of his experiments were able to hear the Wraith communications.
And the stories that Taylor told, the voices that the people heard were
Wraith. Exactly. It must have driven them mad. The Wraith scientist couldn't find a way around it, so eventually he gave up.
I don't understand. I mean, why let them back into the general population, then?
But it seems he thought that interbreeding with normal humans might dilute the effect.
Before he realized he was wrong, it was too late.
When the other Wraith did find out what he had done, they wiped out all the people on the planet. But not before several of the test subjects had already been ostracized and forced to leave.
Okay. So how does this help us?
Taylor may have more than just the ability to sense the Wraith coming.
Well, you're saying you think Taylor might be able to tap into this Wraith psychic network?
If she can, we'll be able to gather all the intel we ever needed about them.
I have never been able to hear the thoughts of the Wraith before.
Well, according to the notes, all the test subjects who were given the Wraith DNA, they had the ability.
It's possible it's because you've never actually tried before.
You didn't know you could read Wraith minds. And quite frankly, who would want to? Look, Taylor, I would not even consider asking you to do this if I didn't think it could potentially provide us with some vital information.
I do not know what to do.
Well, Dr. Heitmeyer has a theory.
I think it's possible that over time, through several generations, people with your ability have developed a mental barrier to the thought projections of the Wraith. Sort of a self-defense mechanism. If we can get past that.
How?
We have a treatment process called hypnosis.
Dr. Heitmeyer can lead you through it. And Dr. Beckett will remain on hand at all times to monitor your physiology.
The Wraith are still very far away, are they not?
Yes, they are. And McKay, he does have some doubts about the range of this telepathy.
But as you said, you can sense the Wraith now. Now, if that's merely a bleed-through effect into your consciousness of a greater latent ability, then it may be worth trying to break the barrier. To be perfectly honest, it's not something I would ever recommend doing under any other circumstances.
But these are far from normal circumstances that we're in, Taylor.
If I can somehow provide us with something, their strategy, a weakness, I see no other choice.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Are you? Okay, I want you to breathe. Nice and deeply and try to relax. Dr. Beckett's going to administer a mild sedative. Now, if this works, we should still be able to communicate with each other. Remember, we can wake you at any time using a very low-grade electrical current. It won't hurt at all. Just say out and we'll end it. Now, focus on this light as I speak. You told me that the feeling that you get from the Wraith is a cold, dark feeling deep inside you. I want you to think about that. Look for it in your mind. Now close your eyes and listen to it. Don't resist. Go to that place where it lives. What do you hear?
Nothing.
You told me that your father was taken by the Wraith. Do you remember sensing it that day?
Yes.
Think back to that feeling. Now listen. What do you hear?
Noise. Voices. So many voices whispering.
Listen closely. Listen for one.
I can see.
Tell us what you see, Taylor.
I am on a ship. I am walking.
You can actually see what's happening.
If the Wraith can project their thoughts, then that may include what they're seeing.
There are other Wraith, and they do not notice me. I am in a room full of people being preserved so that they can be fed upon. I am feeding. I am killing him.
Stop. Beckett, stop.
It's okay. It's okay, you're here, in Atlantis.
Taylor, I had no right to ask you to do this.